What up? This is Rama at the BeyondFest, the premiere of Mayhem with James Jacoby. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. How you doing?
Good, good, thank you. And I understand that you are the musical supervisor of this film. Let me ask you this question: Is the music as much of a mayhem as the title and the movie itself?
100%. You know, the music in this film, I think, is aggressive in all the right ways. It really hits the adrenalized spots that really fuel this film. There's a lot of mayhem, a lot of blood and splatter in this film. There's also a little bit of heart. So I think that there's some things in this film, both dramatically and musically, that are going to surprise some people.
Right. You've worked with Joe Lynch before on Everly,
Yes.
and also the Everly is an equally hardcore movie. So how's that experience, and why did you want to come back to working with Joe again?
Well, first I'll say that working with Joe is a dream because he is just a creative force and we just connect on so many different ways. I think we both think about film the same way. I think we think about music the same way. And so I think the relationship is really strong. And working on Everly, I had a much smaller role on that one too. Well, I think that the opening of this film kind of echoes the opening of Everly in certain ways, specifically musically. And I think that the audiences that really enjoyed Everly are going to immediately understand what's going on and they're going to love it. But it also does a great job of setting up some of the story of this film, the ride that we're about to go on, and also kind of the emotion we're about to go on.
Yeah, for my fans at home to get to know you better, what are some of your maybe top two Halloween or horror movies?
Wow. So for horror films, I guess I would have to go all the way classic. You think about the like the original Halloween, absolutely. But I also think like some of those other Stephen King films from the early '80s, and particularly I remember Cat's Eye, which was kind of an anthology of Stephen King's stories, and it wasn't necessarily horror per se, but it was definitely creepy in all the right ways.
Last fun question. You mentioned Halloween. Obviously, horror remakes, it's a toss-up. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. The recent one worked just fine. So what do you think about the Halloween reboot that's coming out with Jamie Lee Curtis? Have you heard about it?
I've heard about it. I heard that she's in it. I find that to be super exciting, and I'm just curious to see what somebody else's spin is going to be on these stories. And that's one of the miracle. That's one of the miraculous things about the industry is that we can continue to reinvent things in new ways that have a new way to say something.
What up? This is Rama Screen at the BeyondFest with Zack Andrews. How you doing?
Hey, how are you?
Good, good, good. The House That October Built franchise is so successful, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So the second one came up, right?
Yep, just last week.
All right. So is this like a continuation thing? I mean, are you planning it as a whole, I don't know, trilogy or something that you look ahead?
I definitely think that the world of haunted houses is something that people are interested in, and the style in which we are telling these movies is that we're actually going to real places. And so if I was an audience member, I would say, come on, guys, like, show me more, right?
Yeah, exactly. So what are some of the challenges of bringing this and keeping it fresh the second time around?
Yeah, I think that the first movie, was primarily Texas and Louisiana, and we went to more ma and pa haunted houses. It was like just opening the door into this world, and then now this film we go to actual events. So we're at I know escape rooms are really big right now. So we go to an escape room, we go to a zombie 5K, we go to a zombie pub crawl. Like the cinematography in this film, you can see that there's like 30,000 zombies running around, and so it ends up being a much bigger event. And so I know for the third one we're going to have to really step up our game to show people something even more, and we'll just leave it at that.
The House That November Built?
Yeah. Well, what's crazy is that now every holiday has a haunted house. So Valentine's Day, there's haunted houses. There's Krampus Christmas. There's, it's going to be like Mother's Day is going to end up being like a mom running through a haunted house killing people, right? So people just want to be scared, and so that's a good thing for us.